everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It is officially the start of Mermaid Month, and for our first installment in this series, we are going to be doing a Let's Play of the Little Mermaid Giga Pet. Now, this pet is different from the virtual friends by Thinkway Toys. In this virtual pet, other than the shell, there really isn't too much Little Mermaid theming. You just raise an ocean-themed friends. Whereas in this virtual pet, you actually get to befriend the Little Mermaid herself, and it's your job to make sure she has a wonderful life. That is, until she goes on land to be with Prince Eric. So I actually haven't played this virtual pet myself, but I did find the instructions online, and according to these, at the end of the game, this Giga Pet gets married. So let's go ahead and get our batteries in. As I mentioned, I've never played this before. I purchased this pet at an auction a few months back, and I've power tested it, but otherwise I haven't gotten the chance to run it. Loving the clear plastic. So our first question is the time. The instructions say that you can enter a name in your virtual friend so everyone knows it's your own personal friend. So I don't know if that means to enter your own name or to enter a name for your mermaid. But I'll just enter my own name and we'll see what happens. And here is our mermaid. It might be a little tough to see, but when you use the menu, two arrows pop up to tell you which icon you are selecting. So that beeping sound was an alert that our little mermaid needs something from us. Now I'm reading through the instructions again because I'm not sure what she needs, but let's go ahead and try to give her something to eat. Here we have seaweed and sea biscuits, and the directions reference this as her healthy food and then her snack food. So let's give her some healthy food. So I've just been sitting here for a few minutes watching these screen graphics. They are really fun, like that one that just happened a second ago where it looks like she jumps up to the surface of the water. Oh, and there she goes again. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to get to know this virtual pet, and then I will check in with you all tomorrow. Today is day 2, and things could definitely be going better. So last night, Haku knocked the Giga Pet on the floor, and the screen turned off. The only way I could get it to turn back on was taking off the batteries and completely resetting it. And then today, I worked all day, and when I got home, this is what was on our screen. So I did actually bring this Giga Pet with me to work with the intention of playing it on my lunch break. I didn't have time, and this is what happened from my lack of care. I haven't tried pressing any buttons yet, so let's see if I can get it to let me restart. So it let me re-enter a name, and it looks like we're starting over again. Going down to our heart icon, you can see our stats here. So I believe the score is 1 to 100. So right now we're sitting at a 60, so that can certainly be a lot better. I don't know for sure what happened, but I'm guessing my score dropped all the way down to a 0 due to my lack of care for Ariel, and that was why we got the game over. So Ariel just asked for our attention, and she's sitting at a 0 for food. So we can certainly take care of that. I'm going to do my best to retry to play this Giga Pet, but I actually have a very busy, important day tomorrow, so I'm just not sure if it's going to work out, but I'm going to give it my best shot. After feeding Ariel 3 times, she's currently at a 60 for food. Let's try feeding her a couple more times to try to get that up to 100. There we go, that's definitely a lot better. And also let me show you the one game that you can play. This is kind of like a tag game. So once you select the game option, Flounder shows up on the screen and you press the button to help Ariel swim toward Flounder. So you rapidly press it, and she's caught up to him. So far, day 3 is going much better than day 2. At the very least, we are still alive at this point in time. Let's take a look at my score. And I don't think my score is going to be amazing. Okay, so we're at 57. That's not too good at all. But our food score is at 77. I think this is happiness is really bad here, but again, at least we're still alive. So today I made sure I took care of this pet as much as I could before I went into work. I took as much care as I could when I was on my lunch break, and then I also did some more care on my ride home from work. Jake and I are currently sharing a car, so Jake was driving. Do not play your Tama or Giga Pet while driving, but in this case, Jake was driving for me, so I was in the passenger seat. Let's look at a couple more care options. I believe yesterday I showed this option, this third option on the top, which is the game, but the one next to that, so the last option on the top row, this is the party option. So the instructions tell you that Ariel and Flounder like to have parties, and that is how you can create a party for them, is just click that option so the two of them can hang out. For tonight, I am going to focus on sending Ariel to school with Sebastian so she can learn some things, and I'll keep working on that score, so hopefully tomorrow it will be much better than what it was today. The end of day 3 was okay. I ended up getting the score up to 94, which I felt was pretty good. I had 100 in food and knowledge, so the highest you can get in those categories. But with the happiness and love, it felt like no matter what I did, I couldn't get those scores any higher. And if I was able to get one of those scores higher, the hunger and the knowledge would drop down. Once I got those back up, the happiness would drop again. So it just felt like I wasn't able to win with this virtual pet. And I worked on this pet for probably about 3 hours last night. I put a lot of time into this, and I could not get that score up any higher than 94. When I woke up this morning for day 4, the score was at 87, which I thought wasn't too bad for just getting out of bed, and I was able to get that back up to 94, but again, I could not get the score over 94 today. Now it's about 5 o'clock, and let's see how our pet is doing here. So we are currently at a 24, so that is no good. We definitely need to get some food into Ariel and help her get her knowledge back up, but really her happiness isn't too bad. Let's try to feed her, and I'll show you one thing that I've noticed. When she's really unhappy, she will not eat the seaweed, and the sea biscuit is the unhealthy food, but to cheer her up, I guess that's what we are going to have her eat for the time being. She's had 6 sea biscuits and 3 or 4 trips to class, and the score is already up to 51. We still have a long ways to go with hunger. Her knowledge is doing pretty good, and these have stayed about the same. So it's pretty easy to get those first 2 stats up, these first 2 on this page, but these 2, in my opinion, are pretty tricky to get back up if they drop too far low. This initially was not my plan for this Let's Play run, but I think I'm going to end this video here and make a part 2. I really would like to play this virtual pet all the way through to its natural game over, but since I've never played this virtual pet before, I honestly have no idea when that will be, and July 1st is coming up pretty quickly here, and I really want this to be my first video for Mermaid Month. So I need to get to editing this, and I will definitely keep recording, and I'll have that part 2 out as soon as I possibly can. Plus, there's still a couple things that we haven't covered, such as the tricks. That is a pretty important component to keeping Ariel happy and feeling loved, so I will definitely be showing that in part 2. But if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss the rest of Mermaid Month. I'm so excited for this. You can also find me on Instagram at LovePandaBunny, as well as on other social media platforms. Links are in the description box below. Thank you all so much for joining me for my first Mermaid Month video, and I will see you in part 2.